Oh, if
Like
you're an
it's very
athlete,
quickly.
you get a consistent injury, you're done. There's no coming
Dude, if you
back.
get an injury, it's going to be consistent because you're playing at your maximum at any given time. That's what my
Well,
understanding is.
no, because no, that's not true because you can so sometimes you can get the same injury in the same spot in your leg or your arm
Yeah.
or somewhere around there, but other times you may just get it in different parts of your body. So it's not
Mm.
always consistently in the same spot. But the problem is in sports is if you get the same injury in the same spot and it's the same type of injury, you're pretty much done because if it
They
happens
write
like
you
five
off,
or
bro.
six times, it's not going away. It's just
Yeah.
something wrong with your leg or your muscles. I don't know the specifics to that,
Yeah.
but I
Depends
do
on your
know
injury.
if you get the same type of injury this multiple times, you're done. So
Same with like when you,
back
the thing
problems.
with sports is once you start doing it and you're 30 and you're done,
Yeah.
that's 30 years out of your 80-year lifespan, right? For the next
Mhm.
50 years, you're going to have arthritis. You're going to have issues with your muscle. You're going to have issues with your bone. You're going to have issues, a lot of issues. You might have lived like a very healthy life until 30, but then you have this issue and you're like unable to walk or whatever. Now all of a sudden you have a gut.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to it, I
And I
reckon.
actually think that one of the hardest things, like job wise, to do in Melbourne is be an AFL player. You know how many
Mm,
people want to be an AFL player or have been AFL players in Melbourne
yeah,
specifically? It's nuts. So many people want to do it. We have tons of people, girls from our school, who do AFL.
yeah.
So imagine for them if they get an injury, it could be career ending. So it's
This is
really
the thing
scary.
with AFL, bro. Like if you've ever noticed, like I just think it's a very dangerous sport. Because if
Of
you look
course,
at
it's a
like,
dangerous sport. It's
oh no no
contact sport. It's like
no, listen to me,
saying
man.
boxing's a dangerous
Yeah,
sport.
but if you look at like American football, you're going head to head. Like your skull has more. It's more dense up front, so it can take a hit from the front. And they're wearing armor. But now do that with AFL, and they're doing fucking. You're using people's backs to jump up,
Yeah.
and then you have people doing flips and shit, people running into other people, and people doing tackles. That's with literally no protection at all.
Yeah, and a lot of people in AFL in the later years have suffered from brain damage because they
Everyone
fucked up
suffers from
this.
brain damage, bro. You know
Yeah,
me, like we ride. I ride bikes, and I've had several crashes that
yeah,
have fucked up my head, and I've been fucked properly, and it'll mess you up for 6 months. Like I had an accident in year 11, and I genuinely think this, but because I had a following accident like a week or two later with it, it just kind of like ruined my ability to learn. Kind of. I don't want to speak on that, but I feel like I was less capable than I was before that incident.
right,
That was just
okay.
my understanding.
It's definitely worse for them though because they have constant pressure,
Oh yeah, yeah,
really forceful pressure on their
yeah,
skull every
yeah,
like week. So it's
yeah,
crazy for them, and I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised if they have long-term brain
yeah,
damage from stuff like that. It's crazy, and it's stuff
yeah,
like boxing as well. Boxing is life and death. It's not a
yeah.
joke. You could
Oh
die,
no,
and people
yeah,
have died
exactly.
in boxing.
Yeah.
So it's not like
You
when
you and
people.
I are very involved in contact sports. So you do boxing and I do karate, right? When we do karate, the smaller kids they get taught tournament style. So when I do it now, I'm in the adult class, right? They teach you to literally fuck people up, like done. You'll fuck up elbows, you'll fuck up shoulders, you'll fuck
Yeah,
up backs, you'll fuck up. They literally tell you to grab people's testes and fucking rip upwards. Like, oh, like you can easily die from karate, man. They teach you like certain things to break people's necks or whatever, and like to get out of certain things. And like the kata that I'm doing now, kata means like it's kind of like a dance, but with karate and assuming that you're getting hit from certain ways, right?
right.
And so the one I'm doing now, dude, fuck, it will literally break your elbow. Done. If I wanted to and I went hard enough, done. Then and there you wouldn't be able to use that elbow again. Like it's fucked, proper fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why when my mates they go like all my mates when I first start boxing, they're like, let's do some sparring. I'm like, cool, do you have headgear? They're like, no, we don't need headgear. I'm like, yes, you do. Do
Oh,
you
dude.
have a pro license to fight? No, I don't. I don't have a pro license to fight. You can't use You can't fight without headgear, without a pro license.
Yeah.
You can if you want, but you are going to severely fuck each other up because
Oh yeah.
you don't know how to fight properly. Therefore, you do not have. It doesn't matter if you hit pads or you hit a bag. That means shit all. You have
Yeah.
no fucking experience unless you have a spar or you're trained by someone who knows what they're doing. So if you're not using headgear, you could severely hurt each other. So I always say, I'm sorry, I'm not sparring unless you use headgear. I don't care if that makes me sound like a
Oh, dude, you know
pussy.
what we do, right? We
How you
just
got to
say
do
we're
it?
not gonna hit the head. We
Yeah,
just don't
well,
hit the head.
you can do that. I've done spars where I didn't hit the head, but it's shit. It's so boring. Because
I mean, it's kind of fun, but
not for
like
me.
if you want to
Nah.
knock someone out, literally the only place you go for is head. Like when they teach you karate, the first hit you ever do is to the head, and then you go to the body, and then you go down the groin or whatever, and immediately it's head, like straight away head, jaw. You can get hit in the jaw and get knocked out straight away. If you get hit hard enough, it'll in your ear. You have stuff that balances you, right?
Yeah.
That'll fuck that up, and you won't be able to stand straight. It'll be very hard, man, for you to like fight if you don't know what you're like if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
'Cause-
100%. Like you can't. You can go into a street fight and not know what you're doing, and maybe you'll get a good outcome. But if you go into boxing and you don't know what you're doing, you're getting knocked the fuck out
oh,
straight
dude,
away.
dude.
Um.
Like I'll tell you
Yeah.
this much: form over muscle or anything. Sandy's a 90 kilo man.
Yeah.
Sachinta 80 to 90. Harith a 90-ish, and then Venera, which is my size. All of them. We went to an arcade, and they were doing the punching thing, right? And they were like doing run ups and doing this and that. And I go and punch one, make the record. Because like I know how to punch. Like you might think, oh, this motherfucker's scrawny as fuck. He's not gonna touch me. He's not gonna do anything. If I punch you, you're gonna get hurt. Like there's nothing to it. You're gonna get hurt. Like I'm a couple like one or two belts away from being black belt. And I've been doing this for 2 years. And when I started, I was jackal. Like
Mm.
now my flexibility is all decent. My shoulder's kind of popping now because that's a problem. But like if I punch you, you're done then and there. Like unless you're a bigger man and you get a hold of me, there's no chance you're gonna win. That's just my understanding. Or you're pretty tall.
Yeah, and that's the same with me. Most people just look at me and go, "Oh, I got the reach on this guy, so it's easy." Like I
Reach
sparred
isn't
with.
everything, bro. That's
I know
what
it's not. Trust me, I know. Because
UFC makes you think reach is this and that, and weight is this and that. But if you hit the right places and you're quick enough on your feet and you hit a motherfucker in their ribs or in their jaw or like anywhere that you know is like a vulnerability, they're done, bro. You hit between. Have you ever heard of it where they hit you like in between your ribs?
yeah,
That wins you, right?
yeah,
But
well,
what we do in
obviously,
karate, right? We do crunches and you're supposed to hit as hard as you can. So
yeah.
now like I'm doing my crunch and I'm like going, I'm hitting hard as fuck. Nothing hurts. And like you get people to walk over my abs, it will not hurt me. Like
Mm.
at all. Because you just get so conditioned to it. Like when we meet up after quarantine or whenever we get to meet up, I'll literally run you through what we do and you'll learn so much. Like it's so applicable to everything, like especially discipline wise, very applicable.
Okay, well, you guys heard it here first. Swaneth is a Terminator, sent
Nah,
back from
bro.
the future to fuck you up. Nah, yeah, legit, nah, yeah, I know, yeah, I've sparred people where it's like, oh, I don't know, I go and walk over this guy because he's got no reach on me, and then I like get around it because I know what I'm doing with people with
Yeah.
reach, and they go, oh, what the fuck? So yeah, it's more about it's a lot of different moving pieces in boxing for sure, and it's the same with any martial art.